Well, it's February 20th, 2022. It's approximately 18 months since my first reference video. So here's our next one. This is a good moment because it's after all the shiplap that's going to go up is up, but it's before the sheetrock. So you'll see some walls that, like these, that just have their plywood sheathing, some that have nothing, and some that have shiplap. And some you can still see the plumbing. That is incomplete. Some walls, which are exterior walls, have sheathing. All of the exterior walls have this vapor barrier. That's probably the only place where you'll still see it poking out. The kitchen has a combination of exposed sheathing in the form of this finished plywood. And then about 4.5 feet from the floor, you have the shiplap. All of the shiplap is the original wood that was there when we bought the house. It was just buried under layers of paint, sheetrock, wallpaper, and crud. The bathroom's been tiled, but up here will be the special purple sheetrock, the moisture-resistant stuff. Last weekend, we moved all of the tools down to the basement, but before we go to the basement, let's see how things are looking up here. All the sheetrock on the ceiling of the attic is done now, and all of the shiplap is on the walls. So for the most part, there's not much to do on the walls here. There's a view of the kitchen from up here. The only place where there's some sheetrock still to do is right above the stairs here. Upstairs bathroom has a toilet, no sink or tub yet, but the ceilings are done. The trim around the skylights is done. This is an area that is now just for storage. And if I can get this light on, you'll see the work that Random did, putting up supplemental bracing for the back of these boards. Kind of goes all the way down. It's just like a part art and part structural and part recycling of scrap wood. Trying to remember the path of the first reference video. I think I went this way, so you can have some comparison. Over the last year, the basement's gone from being crowded to empty and now back to crowded. And the reason we needed to get the basement emptied was in order to work these hydronic tubes. They're 1/2 inch floor heating and uncoiling all of the, literally it's a 1/2 mile of tubing, and in order to get all that installed, we needed the basement as empty as possible. A little sneak preview though, there's a hope to put some stairs in from the main floor. Will get cut in about here, and then that'd be the top stair back there. The landing would be kind of over here, and then the idea being that this quarter of the basement would get finished, and then, well, actually this third of the basement would get finished. It sort of would make the most sense, and then leaving about 2/3 of the basement for utility purposes. That's a phase 2 item. I think since the last reference video, there's a fence and the yard got leveled. Planted some native wildflowers in this heart-shaped planter. A couple apple trees got planted. And a cedar tree got planted. Well, there you have it. Hopefully soon the next reference video will be the one right before we move in.